Why you always have mucus in your throat. Doctor explains the real cause. Take a moment right now, a very simple, conscious action. Swallow once, just a single deliberate swallow, and truly observe what sensations arise at the very back of your throat. Do you perceive an unwelcome presence lingering there? Perhaps a distinct thickness, an almost adhesive coating that stubbornly refuses to dissipate, no matter how many times you've attempted to clear your throat since waking this morning? This isn't just a fleeting discomfort, it's a persistent, often frustrating reality for countless individuals. Now, let's delve deeper into the implications of that observation. Consider this. You've likely engaged in that characteristic throat-clearing action dozens, perhaps even hundreds of times throughout any given day. If asked to pinpoint precisely when this incessant need began, you might find yourself struggling to articulate a clear, definitive answer. For many, it's a phenomenon that subtly and insidiously creeps into one's life. Initially, it might have been confined solely to the early hours, a morning ritual. Gradually, almost imperceptibly, it extended its reach, becoming an all-day companion. And now, for far too many, it has regrettably transformed into an entrenched, accepted part of daily existence. You might find yourself perpetually carrying a water bottle, avoiding specific foods known to exacerbate the sensation, and you've probably diligently sampled every conceivable home remedy generously suggested by well-meaning neighbors and relatives. Yet despite these efforts, the problem persists. You are still here, still seeking answers, still grappling with that persistent throat mucus. Here is a critical truth I need you to absorb, to truly internalize. That persistent mucus is not a random occurrence. It is not merely an unavoidable consequence of advancing age, a trivial or inexplicable bodily quirk. Your body, a marvel of biological engineering, does not operate on random impulses. Every persistent symptom, every subtle signal, is your body's profoundly intelligent way of communicating something specific, something vital that requires your attention. The fundamental question, therefore, is whether you possess the knowledge and the inclination to truly listen, to decipher these crucial messages. And it is precisely that skill, the art of listening to your body, that I am committed to teaching you today. Throughout my extensive experience working with older adults in the field of preventive health, I have encountered and observed this particular symptom, persistent throat mucus, misunderstood and mismanaged with alarming frequency, arguably more than almost any other common complaint. Far too often, individuals are simply handed a packet of lozenges, advised to just drink more water, or, most disappointingly, dismissed entirely. The actual underlying causes, which often sit quietly and profoundly beneath the surface of these superficial symptoms, regrettably remain unaddressed and unresolved. Today, we are going to fundamentally change that narrative. I am Dr. Franklin, and I specialize in preventive health and senior wellness. My unwavering commitment to this community is consistently plain language, grounded in real, robust research, offering practical, actionable steps that you can implement as soon as tonight. I will meticulously guide you through 5 distinct, research-supported causes of persistent throat mucus, specifically affecting adults over the age of 55. Furthermore, I am going to do something that most educational videos on this particular topic conspicuously neglect. I will illuminate which 2 of these 5 identified causes are almost certainly collaborating and exacerbating each other within your body right now, because the evidence overwhelmingly suggests they frequently operate in concert. Understanding this powerful combination is key, as it dramatically intensifies and complicates the issue. Before we delve further into these crucial insights, I encourage you to drop a comment below and share a piece of personal information. Is your persistent throat mucus noticeably worse first thing in the morning, or does it remain a constant companion with you throughout the entire day? Your answer to this single, seemingly simple question can in fact reveal a significant amount about the primary underlying factors driving this condition in your unique physiology. Please write morning or all day in the comments section below. I personally read and consider every single response. Now, let us embark on this journey of understanding. beginning with a fundamental piece of human biology that most people have never been informed about, yet which profoundly alters one's entire comprehension of this pervasive problem. Your body is an astonishingly efficient producer of mucus, a continuous process that occurs non-stop, around the clock, every single day of your life. And let me be unequivocally clear, this ongoing production is entirely normal, and indeed, entirely healthy. Mucus serves as your body's primary, indispensable protective coating for your delicate airways. It acts as a vigilant sentinel, expertly trapping bacteria, dust particles, and viruses before they can descend deeper and establish themselves within your lungs. Beyond its defensive role, it also plays a crucial part in maintaining the delicate tissue lining your throat, ensuring it remains adequately moist and resilient. Without this vital mucus, your airways would rapidly dry out, become prone to cracking, and subsequently become alarmingly vulnerable to every single pathogen and irritant you inevitably encounter in your environment. Therefore, it is imperative to understand, mucus itself is not the problem. The true problem arises in what happens to that mucus as we navigate the natural process of aging. Here is a biological reality that extensive research has clearly and consistently confirmed, yet it is a detail that most individuals are regrettably never informed about by their healthcare providers. Within your body operates an intricate and vital system known as mucociliary clearance. Your entire airway system is meticulously lined with millions upon millions of microscopic, hair-like structures, scientifically termed cilia. Their collective mission, executed tirelessly millions of times each day without your conscious awareness, is to meticulously sweep mucus upward and outward. This continuous, coordinated sweeping action keeps the mucus thin, fluid, and in constant motion, preventing it from accumulating and becoming stagnant. In a younger adult, this sophisticated system functions with remarkable efficiency and speed. Mucus is produced and cleared almost instantaneously, a seamless, unnoticeable process. However, multiple scientific studies confirm that as we progress through the aging process, these critical cilia gradually begin to slow down. They beat with less frequency and reduced vigor. The practical consequence of this age-related decline is profound. Mucus that would have been effortlessly swept clear in mere seconds at the age of 40 can now, at 65 or 70, pool and accumulate for hours, creating that persistent, uncomfortable sensation. What this physiological shift means in practical terms is that any factor that pushes your body towards an excess production of mucus will exert a more pronounced and lasting impact on an older adult compared to a younger individual. This observation is not intended as a complaint about the natural process of aging. Rather, it is simply a statement of physiological fact. Understanding this foundational biological context is the bedrock upon which everything else we will discuss today is built. So, with that essential understanding firmly in place, let us now meticulously explore the 5 primary causes. I urge you to listen with particular attentiveness, as I will soon reveal which of these causes frequently interact and compound each other's effects. The first cause demands your very closest attention, as research consistently demonstrates it to be the most frequently overlooked and consequently missed explanation for persistent throat mucus within this age demographic. It is medically termed laryngopharyngeal reflux, often abbreviated as LPR. You may never have encountered this specific medical term before, so allow me to demystify it and explain it in straightforward, accessible language. Most people are intimately familiar with the classic presentation of heartburn, that distinct, often uncomfortable burning sensation in the chest that typically manifests after a particularly heavy or spicy meal, the hallmark of classic acid reflux. However, there exists a more subtle, far more insidious, and unfortunately, more deceptive variant of this problem. This silent version often presents with no discernible chest burning whatsoever, absolutely no obvious digestive discomfort, no telltale signs pointing to the stomach. Its sole, baffling manifestation is a throat that simply refuses to settle down, perpetually irritated and coated. Here's the intricate mechanism of what precisely occurs. At the critical junction where your esophagus, the food pipe, meets your stomach, there is a specialized muscular ring functioning as a valve. Its singular, vital responsibility is to remain tightly closed after you consume food, effectively sealing off and locking away corrosive stomach acid precisely where it belongs, within the stomach's protective lining. As we age, this crucial valve can gradually lose its muscular tone, akin to a rubber band that has been stretched repeatedly over time and subsequently loses its elasticity. When this valve fails to close completely and effectively, stomach acid is afforded the opportunity to make its way upward, not merely into the esophagus itself, but ascending all the way into the delicate tissues of the throat, the voice box, larynx, and sometimes even further into the nasal passages. Now, here is the pivotal biological detail that renders this phenomenon so profoundly significant and problematic. The tissues that line your throat are fundamentally not constructed or designed to withstand the corrosive effects of acid in the same resilient manner as the lining of your esophagus is. Even the most minuscule, almost imperceptible trace of acid reaching your throat triggers an immediate, vigorous protective response from your body. Your system rapidly mobilizes, rushing to produce a copious amount of thick mucus, intending to coat, soothe, and shield that irritated, vulnerable tissue. This is, from a biological standpoint, a completely logical and appropriate defense mechanism. However, when this insidious reflux is occurring night after night, silently while you are asleep and utterly unaware, you awaken every single morning to that intensely familiar, unpleasant heaviness at the back of your throat, completely bewildered as to its origin. You have no telltale heartburn, no agonizing chest pain, no obvious clue that would direct your suspicion towards your stomach. Research published in reputable clinical ENT, ear, nose, and throat literature strikingly reveals that up to half of all individuals diagnosed with this condition, laryngopharyngeal reflux, report absolutely no heartburn symptoms at all. Their sole complaints are chronic throat clearing, a voice that sounds persistently rough or hoarse in the mornings, and an accumulation of mucus that begins the very instant they wake up. I urge you to ask yourself, with utmost honesty and introspection, is your throat significantly more bothersome and mucus-laden in the morning compared to later in the day? Does the sensation worsen or become more pronounced when you bend forward, perhaps to tie your shoes or pick something up? Has your voice distinctly sounded different, rougher, or scratchier when you first awaken from sleep? These are the subtle yet unmistakable fingerprints of silent reflux. And rest assured, when we arrive at the comprehensive action plan, I will provide you with precise, practical, and immediately implementable steps that can begin to make a tangible difference in your comfort, potentially as soon as tonight. One additional yet critical note here deserves your undivided attention. If you regularly consume anti-inflammatory medications for conditions such as joint pain, common examples being ibuprofen or naproxen, it is important to recognize that peer-reviewed research has unequivocally established that this entire class of medications can significantly diminish the body's natural protective mechanisms for the stomach lining. This reduction in defense makes acid reflux, including its silent variant, substantially more likely to occur, or, if already present, to worsen considerably. If you find yourself taking these medications on a regular basis and your throat has been persistently irritated and bothersome, I implore you to bring this specific connection directly and explicitly to the attention of your prescribing doctor during your next appointment. Before we continue, please take a brief moment to share your name and the geographical location from which you are tuning in. I personally review all the comments, and I genuinely wish to understand who I am speaking to and who I am endeavoring to support through this valuable information. The second identified cause is one that often arrives subtly and, for that very reason, frequently goes entirely unnoticed. When individuals conjure an image of sinus problems, their minds typically gravitate towards the dramatic, archetypal version. Intense facial pressure, a throbbing forehead, a completely blocked nasal passage, that classic, picture-perfect sinus infection. However, in a significant proportion of adults over the age of 55, chronic sinus inflammation manifests in an almost invisible fashion. Breathing may feel mostly unobstructed, there might be no significant headache or facial pain, and yet, internally, the sinuses are mildly swollen and producing slightly more mucus than normal. This excess mucus then drains steadily, imperceptibly, and silently down the back of the throat throughout the entire day. This phenomenon is clinically known as postnasal drip, and a compelling 2024 study corroborated that the average age of patients presenting with this specific complaint is precisely 55. It is therefore no mere coincidence that this condition is particularly prevalent within your age group. Herein lies a particularly frustrating aspect of this issue. Many individuals grappling with chronic postnasal drip have been diligently taking over-the-counter antihistamines from the pharmacy for months, operating under the assumption that their symptoms must be attributable to seasonal allergies. And there is a very sound physiological reason why that particular strategy tends to consistently disappoint and fail to provide lasting relief. Antihistamines, while they may offer temporary alleviation, primarily function by drying out the mucus, making it thicker and stickier. Crucially, they do absolutely nothing to address the underlying inflammation within the sinus cavities that is the fundamental driver of the excess mucus production. In fact, dried, thickened mucus stuck uncomfortably at the back of your throat is often far more uncomfortable and difficult to clear than the original, more fluid problem. The therapeutic approach that consistently garners the most robust research support for chronic sinus inflammation and postnasal drip is something remarkably simple, highly affordable, and readily accessible. Regular nasal rinsing using a warm saline solution. A comprehensive 2025 clinical review, meticulously published in the respected journal Medicina, which synthesized evidence across an expansive range of sinonasal conditions, unequivocally concluded that nasal irrigation stands as an effective, safe, and exceptionally low-cost strategy for both treating existing upper respiratory tract diseases and preventing their recurrence. Furthermore, it is widely endorsed and recommended as a crucial adjunctive treatment by ENT, ear, nose, and throat specialists across the globe. High-volume saline rinses exert their beneficial effects through several key mechanisms. Firstly, they physically flush away inflammatory mucus, literally washing away the irritants and excess secretions. Secondly, they actively reduce mucosal swelling within the sinus passages, creating more space and easing drainage. And critically, they significantly improve the natural ciliary clearance function, that very system we discussed earlier, the one that unfortunately declines with age. The single most pivotal word in all of this guidance is consistency. Engaging in 1 or 2 nasal rinses will, at best, provide you with merely a day or two of mild, transient relief. However, diligent daily practice, meticulously applied according to proper technique, produces cumulative, genuinely meaningful, and lasting improvement. I will meticulously walk you through the exact step-by-step method for effective nasal rinsing within the comprehensive action plan. If you are still with us, actively engaged and finding this information genuinely helpful, please take a moment to type the number 2 in the comments section so that I know you are present and benefiting. And if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing to this channel. Your support is invaluable and keeps us going in delivering these important health insights. Now, cause number 3 is where I invariably witness the most profound expressions of surprise on people's faces when I introduce it. This is because when patients come to my clinic and we begin the thorough process of discussing and exploring potential culprits for their throat's persistent behavior, their medications, specifically the ones they have been faithfully taking for months and often for years, are simply not something they instinctively think to question as a possible contributing factor. There is a widely prescribed class of blood pressure medications known as ACE inhibitors, which stands for angiotensin-converting enzyme inhibitors. These medications are prescribed millions of times annually across the globe. They are undeniably effective in controlling hypertension, generally well tolerated by most individuals, and serve a genuinely important purpose in cardiovascular health. However, they carry a recognized, well-documented, class-wide side effect that the scientific research clearly and repeatedly substantiates. These medications allow a substance called bradykinin to accumulate in the body, and in a significant proportion of people, studies consistently report figures ranging between 5 and 20% of users. This accumulation of bradykinin directly triggers persistent throat irritation and an ongoing, often uncontrollable urge to clear the throat. Crucially, it is vital to understand that this reaction is not an allergy. It is not indicative of something unusual or abnormal occurring within your body's systems. It is, quite simply, an inherent physiological consequence of how the drug works, and your throat simply happens to be particularly sensitive to this specific bradykinin-mediated effect. Here is the subtle detail that causes this significant connection to be missed with such frustrating regularity. The development of this side effect, the persistent throat irritation and mucus, can take weeks or even several months to manifest after an individual initially starts taking the medication. So, for instance, if you began a new blood pressure pill 8 months ago, and your throat symptoms only started bothering you 6 months ago, you may understandably never have made the logical connection between those two seemingly disparate events. However, that precise timing alignment, a delayed onset after starting the medication, is exactly the pattern that the research meticulously describes. A large-scale study involving more than 27,000 patients found a compelling statistic. Adults over the age of 65 had a remarkable 53% higher odds of experiencing this throat-related side effect compared to younger users. This finding is specifically and profoundly relevant to our current audience. If you are currently taking a blood pressure medication and are uncertain whether it belongs to the ACE inhibitor class, your pharmacist possesses the expertise and resources to inform you in under a minute. And if it does, it is important to know that alternative medication categories exist, such as ARBs, angiotensin receptor blockers, which control blood pressure equally effectively and do not carry this particular bradykinin-related side effect. Therefore, having that proactive conversation with your prescribing doctor about potential alternatives is unequivocally worth your time and attention. If you are still actively watching and absorbing this information, please type the word clarity in the comments section, because that is precisely what I hope this video is delivering to you. The fourth cause is one that often surprises people, not because it is inherently complicated or obscure, but precisely because it is something they have perhaps dismissed as too fundamentally obvious to truly matter: hydration. Yet, allow me to articulate the intricate underlying physiology, because this is almost certainly not what most people typically imagine when they think of drinking more water. Your body's mucus, in its fundamental composition, is predominantly water. Its consistency, whether it is naturally thin and fluid, allowing for easy clearance, or conversely thick, sticky, and profoundly difficult to move, is directly and intimately related to how adequately hydrated the surrounding tissues of your airways are. Here is the clearest and most illustrative way I can convey this concept. Consider maple syrup immediately after it has been poured fresh from the bottle versus that same maple syrup after it has been left sitting open and exposed overnight. It is the identical substance, yet it exhibits completely different behavior and fluidity. Your body's mucus behaves in precisely the same analogous manner, its properties directly dictated by your overall hydration state. Now, here is the specific age-related nuance that elevates this beyond a mere simplistic reminder to drink more water. Research has clearly and consistently established that the body's natural thirst mechanism becomes significantly less reliable and less sensitive as we age. A younger adult typically experiences a sensation of thirst well before their body becomes meaningfully dehydrated. In older adults, however, that crucial early warning system is unfortunately blunted or diminished. This means you can easily be dehydrated enough to noticeably impair your mucus consistency and significantly impact your daily comfort, all without experiencing any particular sensation of thirst whatsoever. Therefore, waiting for the feeling of thirst to prompt you to drink means you are consistently operating behind the curve, perpetually playing catch-up with your body's hydration needs. And a state of mild dehydration, maintained day after day, keeps your mucus persistently thick and sticky in ways that dramatically amplify and worsen every other contributing factor we have already discussed today. A practical, evidence-based fluid target, referenced widely in clinical nutrition guidance, is approximately 30 milliliters per kilogram of body weight per day, sourced from all liquid intake. This encompasses plain water, soothing herbal teas, nourishing soups, and even water-rich foods like fruits and vegetables. All contribute towards achieving that crucial daily target. However, the behavioral key to success is deliberate, consistent intake distributed throughout the entire day, rather than attempting to compensate or catch up only when you finally feel thirsty. If you are still watching and finding this information beneficial, please type the number 4 in the comments. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future valuable videos. The fifth cause is one that, regrettably, rarely receives discussion in videos of this nature, and I firmly believe this represents a significant and crucial gap in public health education. This is because, for a meaningful and substantial portion of older adults who are contending with persistent throat mucus, the fundamental root of the problem resides not directly in the throat itself, nor in the sinuses, nor even in the stomach. Instead, its origin lies deeper within the body, in the gut. Here is what the robust scientific research conclusively demonstrates. Your intricate digestive tract and your complex respiratory system share profoundly interconnected regulatory pathways, primarily through the sophisticated networks of the immune system and the nervous system. The overall health and delicate balance of your gut microbiome, the trillions of beneficial bacteria and other microorganisms that symbiotically reside within your intestines, directly influences how reactive and how inflamed your upper airways are. When the delicate balance of this vital gut microbiome is disrupted, a state that researchers clinically term dysbiosis, it can actively trigger and activate immune responses throughout the body. These systemic immune responses, in turn, promote and drive mucus overproduction within the airways. This occurs not because there is any direct physical pathology or inherent problem specifically with your throat, but rather because the gut is sending out inflammatory signals, cascades of biochemical messages, to which the respiratory system is programmed to respond. This fascinating and increasingly recognized connection, sometimes referred to as the gut-lung axis, represents a vibrant and rapidly expanding area of clinical research. Multiple peer-reviewed studies, including groundbreaking research published in highly reputable journals such as the American Journal of Respiratory and Critical Care Medicine and the Journal of Allergy and Clinical Immunology, have unequivocally confirmed that disruption of the gut microbiome can indeed trigger systemic immune responses that directly promote and exacerbate airway inflammation. Animal model studies have taken this understanding even further, providing compelling evidence of a direct causal link. When mice received gut microbiome transplants from human patients suffering from chronic lung disease, those mice subsequently displayed measurably increased airway mucus production, directly demonstrating a causal relationship between the state of gut health and the physiological events occurring within your airways. So, what precisely disrupts this crucial gut microbiome in older adults, contributing to this? Systemic inflammation. Common culprits include a diet chronically low in diverse fiber and fermented foods, repeated courses of antibiotics administered over many years, excessive sugar intake, and chronic unmanaged stress. These are not exotic or obscure factors. Rather, they tragically describe the daily reality and dietary patterns of a very large proportion of older adults in our society. You will simply not resolve a gut-airway axis problem with a throat lozenge or a temporary fix. However, you absolutely can begin to support and restore your gut microbiome through consistent, informed, daily dietary and lifestyle choices. And I will be sure to include these practical strategies within the comprehensive action plan. Before I present you with the full, actionable plan, I need to take a moment for a message that is genuinely and profoundly important. The vast majority of the time, persistent throat mucus in older adults, while uncomfortable and frustrating, is ultimately benign. It is precisely what we have been meticulously discussing today, a manageable, addressable condition that, while it impacts quality of life, is not inherently dangerous. However, it is crucial to remember that your body sometimes utilizes symptoms to signal something far more serious, something that urgently requires professional medical attention rather than self-management. Therefore, please make an appointment with your doctor promptly and without delay if you notice any of the following specific warning signs. Mucus that is consistently tinged with blood, even a very small amount. Difficulty swallowing that is gradually and progressively worsening over time. Unexplained weight loss occurring concurrently with your throat symptoms. The presence of a new lump or persistent swelling in your neck region, or a significant unexplained voice change that shows no signs of improvement over time. These particular signs extend far beyond the typical territory of today's conversation and warrant immediate medical evaluation. Please do not attempt to work around them or self-diagnose. Bring them directly to the attention of your doctor without hesitation. Now, for the eagerly awaited action plan. This is the pivotal section where everything we have comprehensively covered translates into tangible, actionable steps that you can genuinely begin to implement in your own life. For silent reflux, LPR. 1. Implement a 3-hour eating buffer. Tonight, make a firm commitment to stop eating at least 3 full hours before you intend to lie down horizontally. When you consume food and immediately recline, your stomach is still actively engaged in the complex process of digestion, and the critical lower esophageal sphincter valve we discussed earlier faces its most arduous challenge in remaining securely closed. Maintaining an upright posture for a minimum of 3 hours after your last meal is one of the most rigorously evidence-supported behavioral interventions for significantly reducing nighttime silent reflux. 2. Slightly elevate the head of your bed. Do not attempt to achieve this by simply stacking extra pillows under your head, as this merely flexes and bends your neck into an awkward position, potentially worsening the issue. Instead, utilize a firm wedge placed securely under the headboard legs or directly beneath your mattress. Even a subtle incline of just a few centimeters strategically employs gravity to your advantage, meaningfully reducing the amount of stomach acid that can passively travel upward towards your delicate throat tissues while you sleep. For dehydration and mucus consistency, 3. Pre-sleep warm water. Before you retire for sleep tonight, conscientiously drink a full, generously sized glass of warm water. This incredibly simple yet effective act actively supports your overnight hydration levels and plays a crucial role in helping to keep your mucus thinner and more fluid.